All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing Sacred Clowns by Tony Hillerman. This is book number, I think, 11 in his Lephorn and Chi Navajo Tribal Police series of mystery novels. I have all of the novels over here in my collection. I will just go over here and show you my Tony Hillerman collection. That's all of the ones that Tony Hillerman wrote there. Now, this book came out, I've been reading these books since I was young. Now, this book came out in 1993. Let's talk about the cover first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. I like these covers. All of them have a great illustration by a Native American artist named Peter Thorpe, and that's just cool. I like the little icon thing in the middle. Every book, Peter Thorpe has just always done a really great, simple design that really stands out. Okay, so Lephorn and Chi, Navajo Tribal Policeman. Lieutenant Lephorn, Sergeant Jim Chi. They've gone through 11 adventures previous. I have reviewed and read all previous 10 and left a review on the channel. So if you want to watch those, just type in my last name, Durfee, Tony Hillerman's name, and all 10 of those reviews will magically appear on your computer somewhere. So this one opens with Jim Chi sitting atop a friend's roof watching a Tanoan Kachina dance and ceremony going on in the community below. So there's a big community of Native American dancers, and in the community, people are just kind of sitting on the roofs of their houses watching this. Some people have parked their trucks and are watching from their trucks, or standing on the bed of their trucks. Some people have lawn chairs. You know, you get the scene. Okay, so Jim Chi is sitting out there. With him is Janet, this girl he sort of fancies. She's a lawyer, and he is talking with his old friend about, high school. They're sort of reminiscing about high school as they watch this ceremonial dance and little celebration go on below. Now, there are clowns that are part of the dance. As we can see, sacred clowns exactly is what they're named. They are part of the dance, and as their part of the dance is to purposefully disrupt the dance, get in the way of the regular dancers. Now, the other dancers are the spirit dancers, and their job during the dance is to do things right, to get rid of the sacred clowns, to just ignore the sacred clowns, push them out of the way, do things right. It's all symbolic of something. Now, Jim Chi, as he's watching this dance, he realizes he doesn't really belong, because it's a different tribal dance than, Jim Chi, his ceremonial name in his own tribe is Long Thinker, because he's a very thinking guy. Now he has been born of the slow-talking Dene, born of the Bitter Waters clan, and he's a bit of an outsider at this event, and he knows it, and he thinks that like everybody's looking at him. But during this event, as they're watching the antics of the dancers below, there's the air is sort of starts to slowly fill with some tension, because the dancers are just being a little bit off. Even though the one crew of dancers is supposed to disrupt the other crew of dancers on purpose, there's just something a little bit off about it. It's just not the way it's gone in years past. And so everybody's a little on edge, all right? Which leads to, after the ceremony, one of the clown dancers, one of the sacred clowns, is found brutally murdered to death, bludgeoned to death, in the same way that a reservation school teacher had been murdered just 2 days prior. And one of the plot points is Jim Chi, the school teacher that was murdered prior. Jim Chi would have liked to have been on that investigation, but Lieutenant Lephorn took the investigation himself and sent Jim Chi out to do other duties. And so he's a little butthurt about that. But now we've got this other murder on our hands, with the sacred clown being killed in the same way as the school teacher was clear. So now Chi and Lephorn have to work together to, they got to go back and try and decipher the sacred clown dance and what sort of message it was trying to relay to the Tanoan Pueblo people and what was going on in that dance. And as we kind of spiral into this convoluted plot of tribal secrets, crooked Native American traders, they kind of find that the trail of blood links to this runaway teen that we get to meet. Of course, there's the two dead corpses, the dead murdered people, bodies. There's two dead people. And a mysterious artifact. There's always a mysterious supernatural artifact in all of Tony Hillerman's mysteries, and I love that. I love the supernatural element of Tony Hillerman's mystery novels set down on the Navajo Tribal reservations and that whole Four Corners area, which I grew up near. I mean, I grew up more of where the Fremont Paiute Indians were, but there was a lot of Ute, Navajo, Paiute, and I grew up down in these areas, and it always takes me sort of very nostalgic trips back into the desert Southwest. Well, I still live in Salt Lake City, which is still like the desert Southwest, and I visit down there quite often. So I think that Tony Hillerman does just a great job of describing that entire part of the world. And that's one of the reasons I return to these books over and over again. I actually really enjoyed this book, Sacred Clowns. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's just a really good entry into this series.